Right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another exciting episode of Tahoe Anime Streams things on the internet. Nope, not it. Nope. No, just going to be working on art and projects and book stuff. Maybe I still got some things I want to mess around with. That one page that we worked on Wednesday. Doing different things. Might jump around a little bit, just depending on how it goes and what I want to do today. Play around with different things. See if anybody shows up and asks any questions. Actually, I will double check. Let me double check our. Where do I put that? Conversations. With GoDaddy, you actually get an app that has to do with the forum stuff that you have on your site that people fill out. They call it Conversations is the app for GoDaddy. So when somebody submits the forum, then it gets sent to you in an email and it gets sent to your Conversations app, so you can look it over. So double checking that at the moment. Cool. Nothing at the moment. I've been actually pretty good about checking it before stream, and I forgot today, so yeah. Now you know how that works. If you do have any questions about any of the stuff that I am working on, or basically if you are basically any of it, whether it be art, publishing, book stuff, design, if you are in the Reno, Tahoe, Sparks, Nevada area, and you have questions about any of the groups and stuff that are here, or any of the meetups or events, anything like that, feel free to ask them, throw them into either chat here live, or send me a message over on my website, tahoeanime.com. There's a form at the bottom. You can fill that out and send it in, and like I said, I can see that pop up. Heck, I can even do it live if you send them in while they're live. So, yeah, any of that stuff, all good stuff. Trying to figure out how to build a little bit of community. Trying to figure out how to also help my local area have more access to each other. Figuring out a little spot to be able to put that together. We do have SCWBI meetings for a year. We changed them to for a year. They were once a month, but we changed that up for the Reno area. For the Vegas area, those are still being done once a month, which is odd because I thought they said we were all going to quarterly. But anyways, so for my area, which would be the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, we are doing SCBWI, which is the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, our Nevada chapter here. We're doing those meetings 4 times a year. I think our next one is next month. Our first one of the year is next month. On the 22nd, yes. So definitely check out their website if you're interested. We'll be doing a longer meeting next time with more information and presentations and stuff like that. So if you are interested in coming by and meeting face-to-face with other authors, illustrators in the area for anything from picture book, let's go board books, all the way up to teen, probably even like I don't know all the categories for all the books, but I think right before you get to novels, like big novels, if you write anything in between any of those, doesn't matter if it's like I said, board book, picture book, middle grade, teen, I think those all fall under the same category. So you can come and say hi, meet other authors, and see what's going on, see what resources are available. I'm trying to figure out how to see if I can fill in the gaps in between with these streams. So if you've been here before, or if you haven't been here before, that's kind of what I'm new to the idea of all of this, publishing and building my resources around some stuff, writing my own books, doing the illustrations and everything like that. So I am by no means the expert in any of it, but I'm starting to get connected with a lot of the stuff, so I might be able to point you in the right direction, which is what like I said, and what I'm kind of trying to hoping to put together here a little bit, is figure out how to point people in the right direction. And if that's to go to the SCBWI meetings and stuff like that, that's a good resource. If it's go to the Sierra Arts literary community meetings, another good resource and stuff like that. So just trying to figure out how to play my part and open up more doors and get connected with more folks around the area, because we definitely need some centralization on some of that. So yeah, that's the plan, that's the idea, that's what we've got going on. Been thinking about that a lot lately again, as we start the new year and start new schedules and doing new things and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, first up on the docket, let's head over to our new post for the week. So I put this up yesterday. We worked on this a little bit on stream, so you guys have gotten to see this a little bit. Change up the format a bunch. So at the beginning of our video, let's see, go back. Where is it at? Corner video. There it is. Let's pause this. Beginning of our video, no longer stagnant background images and stuff like that. I'm gonna try a little bit more like open air, so that we have stuff going on in the background, so it's new and different and kind of goes with the post. It also opens me up to doing some more filming stuff, so that goes through on the background as well. So this is our first post, or my first post. Anytime I say our, I always think of like me, my characters, because they help me a lot with a lot of this stuff. The family, all of that stuff. Mrs. Tahoe, everybody. That's kind of, sometimes I speak for the group. Anyways, number one, it's our first post of the year. So I would say of the year, of our 52-week social media post. I don't even know what to call it. Challenge? I guess it's a challenge. I challenge myself with this one. The idea is to put together one post each week, and this format is a 60-second video, kind of running down things that either happened during the week, things that are coming up, like events or whatever, cool things that I'm doing, experiments, or just fun little silly videos that I decided to put together that kind of go together with what I've got going on, either book related or elsewise. Just cool little fun stuff. So that's why we've got our number one here. But I wanted to keep some of the stuff the same. So our little stitches, dots around the edges, kept that format here. I had some video footage of when I was making my business cards, and I had taken it and shot it, filmed it, and put it into a folder. It was like, I want to use this, but I'm not sure quite where I want to use it. So I'll use this kind of like B-roll, or extra footage, that if I get into a pickle or I don't know a week, something to talk about, I can put the videos together and edit them and stuff like that and make them into part of the weekly post. And then I'll write out the description and explain, kind of the stuff that I've got going on and everything else like that. So That's the idea. That's what went into this video this week. I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, oh, there's a couple things I wish I would have done to add to this video and stuff like that. But I was like, it's okay. Not my best video. I do like how I filmed it and shot it and stuff like that. And I like how it turned out though. But I'm like, I could have done a couple things that would have made it more exciting for myself as a first video. So once we get back around here to the beginning. And there's our little end card, yeah. Simple but good. Getting ready for our third book coming up. Okay, so what I thought about for this part was I should have had, last week's video had buttons taking the little number off of the bottom and kind of like throwing it up in the air and glowing and doing a bunch of stuff in the middle. I was like, oh, I should have done is I should have had him pop up here at the bottom and bring the number up and put it into place and then disappear out the bottom. I should have done that for this first video. And I thought about that after I'd already published it and sent it all out and everything like that. Always happens. Best ideas come late or come after you've already gone ahead and pushed some things or pushed things out and stuff like that. So it's okay. I like doing fun little animation things like that, little silly like comic style interactions with things. Because my characters are the fun and interesting part about these characters that I've created or developed, God, forever, they've been around forever, is that they exist in the world of the storytelling that is being told in the book pages, right? So let's go ahead and play that. Go back over here real quick. So character resides in the pages of the story that I'm telling, whether that be book 1, book 2, book 3 at the moment, and future books. Let's bring up, there we go. So like we were working on this on Wednesday, this page a little bit, but it's a character that's self-aware that they are in a story, right? They kind of bounce around from different things. So the story is being told with them, and I wouldn't quote unquote say that they're actors, but they exist in all the different worlds. So like I consider them existing here when we're playing with the faces and stuff like that. They're aware of that, like, and stuff. So when I do some of these posts, like our weekly posts, I'll have interactions with the characters where even my dialogue on the post itself is talking to the character, being like, hey Buttons, guess what we've got coming up? And he'll interact with, he'll either make commentary back to me, or he will grab things and move things and touch things on the post and stuff like that. Like he's aware of them in that way. So it's kind of fun for me to develop and have all of those fun little things that I can play with, and not just let him be like stagnant in a two-dimensional world. Like he has presence and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll show up in a lot of the photos or videos that I take of events and stuff like that. So if you go back and look at some of the previous posts over the past year, you'll see him like on the floor at the Reno Public Market or something like, or pointing at something, or being surprised by something, or all of those things. And he'll have little shadows too, like little shadows that indicate that he's like in the space kind of idea. So, or peeking around corners or things like that. So he's a little more multiversal than I think most characters are, but he retains a lot of the same essence as a classic comic like Snoopy, which is kind of what I wanted. Like it needed to be simple. The storytelling needed to be very comic-esque, comic book-esque, manga-esque, graphic novel-esque. You know, like a lot of those little threads kind of pull through to make the character what it is. So, and soon characters, because we're gonna have some fun interactions and stuff once we get on to the publication of book number 3 here. So, yeah. All right, there's some of my ramblings for the morning. I do have more ramblings to do, or at least that I could do. But I wanted to, so I follow a person over, wait, I missed a phone call? I missed a phone call from her. Oh. Did I miss a phone call from my dad just a few minutes ago? Interesting. I follow a person on Threads and Instagram that find very interesting the stuff that she puts out, and I would love to go through and grab some of those posts and talk about them, but I want to ask for permission first before I just do it. I don't want to quote unquote, I feel like that's not necessarily stealing content. Ugh, content is such a dirty word for me. I just want to be kind and polite and make sure that it's okay if I talk about their stuff on stream, if they're cool with that. So I don't think it would be, since it's a public, I guess technically it's a public forum in a way, but I still want to ask for permission just to make sure. But at some point we'll get there. We'll do all the things. Okay. So today I want to work on trying to get this page completely finished up here. Get a few things adjusted. It's looking pretty good though. I showed off this page compared to what it originally looked like, which was this. This was the original idea for the page. Let's show you the trim view, because like we don't even have the bird in here. Very basic, very simple, flat, boring, kind of simple. You know, it worked. It was a pass through, but this felt much better, much more fun. So better illustration came out of playing on Wednesday, which was nice. So we want to make sure and clean all this up, get it nice and right and put together so that it can be exported and used for what it's supposed to be used for. So as page number 8 in our story. So yeah, that's what we're going to work on today. So let's do the things. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to look at these guys. So on Wednesday, I kind of came up with this concept of these boxes that have like little drawn castle bits on them. And what I had done is I had just taken the brush tool and brush tool drawn them, which I think actually works really good because it gives that kid drawn, hand drawn feeling. But I think I want to go through and make some adjustments, because you know I gotta try to make things look perfect. But I gotta figure out how much of it I want to, which parts I want to leave. Like these little guys that go out past the, I kind of like that. I may even faux in a couple like on that side. But do I go ahead and close up some of these loops that I made that have weird endpoints? Do I do... Does it look... I kind of like this, how it goes past a little bit there. But I don't like how these ones have like little loops on them. Not a fan of that. Or like this one where it goes backwards. Let me delete that. Shift. No? Okay. That's kind of the... Do I like the roughness of the pieces not really connecting? I do like how they're very misshapen, because that's very indicative of drawing by hand. And I drew them... I did draw them with the mouse, so they definitely lend themselves to being rough in that case. But like, do I connect all of these? Does that get rid of some of the feel of it? If I do this? I kind of like that one doesn't connect. But I don't necessarily think I want two. No, let's leave two of them. Do I take this one? Fix that one? Like I feel like it still gives the right vibe. Very sketchy. Okay, I do want to... This one's bothering me. Okay, much better. King buttons. Okay. Yeah, because it's almost too rough on some of them. I did do them rather quick because I was just playing with it. But I do like some of them that go on the outside. Like it's really sketchy in that way. Like this feels same. Like they all mismatch too much in a way. I don't know. I might just be being crazy. Don't mind if a couple of them have it. That one's okay. I don't like all of these having it. Is it an artifact? What is that? What the heck is that? That's weird. Huh. A really weird little artifact there. Little things like that. Those are things I definitely want to make sure and go through and catch. Let's leave that one. That one together. Let's fix this. That. Then the question is, do we get rid of too much of the fun and personality? Oh, that's right. Let's do that instead. This one, let's make this go out. That will go out. Yeah, there we go. Like, I didn't mind the mismatch of it, but I think it gives it a little bit more polish is what I'm trying to do. Is trying to get to. Okay, cool. So I think we're good with that. Let's play around with some of this again. Back here in a second. Okay, I think that's okay. That's okay. So now the other question is I don't think it matters, but I basically copied that side over to this side, is what I had done. I'm debating whether or not I should change that up or not. Because I made the little tapes different, slightly different angles, different amounts, stuff like that. I might go through and change up how the points work on them so that they definitely feel different. These ones are the same, but they're slightly different. So I bounce back and forth between using some elements repetitively and making every piece new and original. Part of my brain says make everything new and original. Part of my brain says it's fine. it's okay to repeat some of those things. It's not a bad thing. I don't always agree with myself sometimes, so. Like I could have just duplicated this one across to this side, done that way, but I was like, no, let's draw each one. But like these turret pieces at the top that we have taped on, those are just copy and pasted across to each other on these boxes, and these are different boxes turned slightly different directions with the tape and stuff on them. Some of the wording, different locations, but does it detract too much that these are copy and pasted across to each other? Does it matter? Some of the things I think about. Some of the things that keep me up at night. Brr. Okay, so let's do... So technically this would be the other direction, not this direction. These would be over here. Down there. I believe that's where our light source is coming from in this page. So we're going to make that change. There we go. Okay, cool. Yatta. Okay, so this one is also wrong. We're gonna fix that. Ooh, I don't want the handle. Why are you giving me the handle? Thank you. Okay. And I wanted it to be rough like this. I didn't want it to be perfect, smooth. I wanted it to allude to the idea that either our character had cut these out. Yeah, I think I wanted that. I think I wanted it to look like he was the one that was putting all this together and doing some imaginating and stuff like that. You know what I realized? I just realized something. This should have... Yep, I did. Okay. There we go. That's what it should look like. Let's go ahead. Pull this one out to the edge here. Okay, there we go. Fixed. Let's fix this one now, and then we'll have to go do the other side here in a minute too. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Much better feel to it. I just debated in my head. I was like, oh, should I tape the crown to his head? No. Be funny. Okay, let's go back here. We need to fix these. Make these a little bit different. Okay, so yeah, so our leading edge will be over here on this side. Then our ending edge will be there. Let's pop this up above a little bit. This one is going to go this. Yeah. So they'll have slight differences to them. They won't be major differences, but it'll be slight, which is fine with me. So I think part of the process that I'm going through and trying to figure out with this is, do I want to make everything perfect? Like, I can go through and be very specific about everything and go through and make these all perfectly square and everything else like that. But I kind of like that it's a little messy. Like, it's a little human messy in that way. It's not, I'm not like necessarily faking it or anything like that. I'm just kind of like letting it be what it's gonna be. Not forcing it around to be exact. What I'm trying not to be. I want it to look like it was done by hand, and it's a little messy. That's okay. It's okay if they have a little slight differences to them. Let's see. Let's pull this out here. Yeah, let's change this up a little bit. Ooh, too far. Let's move that back in. So that's going to go there. So the other part of this is like, I don't want to be messy for messy's sake. I want it to be consistent. Consistent in its messiness. But I don't want it to be distracting either. Like, it doesn't matter, probably doesn't matter if I take these little tape pieces and just leave them as is and not make them, you know, unique in their own little snowflake way. But I like having just those subtle differences in some of the stuff, so it doesn't all look exactly the same. So I might go through on some of these and just move some of the points around like you're seeing me doing here, just to give them just a slightly different feel. Sometimes it doesn't take much. Inner Bob Ross is coming out hard right now. Just making little happy little pieces of tape here. Little scotch tapes. Oh, that's nice. I wish I could have that calming voice that he had. That would be cool. Let's change this one. Okay, let's make this a little sharper. Push these way over here. Let's play with this one. I think I already did a little bit on this one. What I might do, let's go even more different on this one. Let's add another point here. Make that one a 4-pointer. Let's do the same thing here, but we'll need 2 points for this. We'll need one more up, and we need one more down. Here we go. Little differences, just little micro adjustments, just for my own brain and for my own sake. Little things like that. They probably don't make a hill of beans of a difference, but I like doing them. You know, just make slight little differences so that the world feels repetitive in one sense, but still unique in another sense, I think is what I'm trying to balance in between here. Okay, so got that all adjusted. let's look at the layout real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna I mess with this last time where I was trying to figure out whether or not I was gonna keep the question mark above our character's head here. And I do like it. Like, it's all right. What I was trying to look at here is I've got these little marks that comes off the top of his head when he's like surprised or, you know, like what's going on, or, you know, something's happening that we're indicating that something is happening there. Automod held the message for a reason. Wow, we'll post it to chat. Nope, we're going to deny that. Sorry, my friend, you are a bot and you're trying to get bot views. But I've used it. I use it here to indicate this photo is important. Him popping in the box and being excited, and noticing the things that are happening in here. So it's almost like a noticing tactic. I like notice this thing that's going on. But it's also a surprise. It's also a lot of different things. I'm like, no, let's leave it without it. I don't want to add that there. The one thing I do like about the other version of this page was that he was holding the mouse over his mouth. I kind of like that idea. I don't know if I can still get away with that with this one. We could try it and see what happens. I kind of like that it's there. I do realize that our hand is a little off though. Oops. Yeah, I think I'm really going for this. Yeah, our second page here in the book is, sometimes I wonder if he gets lonely when we aren't here with him. I love it when I fit in boxes. It's the perfect place for sitting. Get it? If he fits, he sits. Hey, it's Vern. He sure does love playing in those old boxes. That was kind of like the idea, like, okay, so we're making that commentary, we end up with a bunch of boxes, he's playing in boxes, like, let's punch it up a little bit here, where this is kind of boring, kind of very simple. That's where this one came in, where now he's like imagining that he's, you know, he's put together this little scenario castle and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, so the question mark stays. We're good there. It lends itself to what we've got going on. We don't need the marks for the surprise, because the surprise thing also pops up here. Okay, let's export this out and put this in and see what this looks like. How's it going, Vern? How's work going? I see you've been running around doing all kinds of fun stuff. Your photography has been great. I like a Picasso. So what we do need to do, get rid of that. Let's get rid of number 8. Let's put it in its place. Okay, now this one becomes the official number 8. Let's see if we can get this in before our break comes up here. Book 3. Page number 8. PNG export replace. Okay. Okay, so we should be able to do this. Relink. Find number 8. Place. Okay, sweet. I don't have to do the other way I've been doing this. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Okay, so let's look at those together. Because this is the spread at the moment. Okay, so left to right, a few days later is the first thing we read. Buttons, we have a surprise for you. We hope you like it. Surprise! Technically, this should be on like a page turn. Like you should turn a page and the surprise should be there, but it didn't work out that way with our layout. Not sure. Let's look to see if we can move some things around. All right, peoples, let's switch over to this camera. Okay, cool. Got that. Squeeze this in a little bit more. So I've been good. Back from Miami just in time for an ice storm. Nice. That sounds about right. Yeah, I know. I saw Ted Cruz left, so I figured it was going to be a big one. It's going good. Going good. We are, I think you're subbed to the channel, so we can keep talking even after our ad break starts here, but we are getting ready to do our first ad break. Yeah, there we go. Starting soon, so, yeah. Oh, that was fast. See, you never know when those things are going to pop up like that. They're either quick or they're slow. It just depends on what it wants to do, but the little breaks are funky-dory. It's good. They're ridiculously unpredictable. Like, for a while, they were almost like a minute and a half before they would pop up. And now they're short. Like, that was only 5-10 seconds before it popped up there. It's kind of crazy. I have to try to get all my talking in before that. I'm glad you made it back. I hope you had a good time in Miami. It looked like there was lots of fun going on down there. Looks like you had a good crew of photographers and stuff like that. It's always exciting. I love seeing that stuff. So I get to see your stuff that you're shooting, and then my brother-in-law, he's been posting more of his photography, which is like outside nature, little astro photography and stuff like that, which has just been stellar, like really cool stuff to look at. So I'm really getting a lot of the good stuff in. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got an instant. Yeah, let me tell you what it is. I sent him yours, being like, this is my friend, she's really good at what she does. Where are you? It's Bryce the Bard. BRYCE, and then BARD. He's got hair over his eyes. Scruffy looking. I get to say that. It says writer, journalist, photographer, podcaster, daydreamer. Got it. Sweet. Yeah. He's a good dude. He's trying to get into the biz and figure stuff out. And he's starting a podcast where he's talking about like pop culture and connecting that to science and a bunch of different things, and kind of mixing all of his passions together, the astrophotography, music, like a lot of different things. And it's really, really cool. But yeah, I threw him your profile and stuff like that, being like, go check out Vern. Vern's got some amazing stuff. And if anything, like if you need to ask somebody something, Vern might know somebody that could point you in the right direction for something that you're looking for. So it was a good like point where I can see you both like talking to each other, and really like cool shit would come out of that. So, pop culture and science would be a fun mashup. We like to network. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just like, it doesn't hurt to have those connections and be able to like tap somebody on the shoulder and be like, hey, do you know like what is this, or how do I, or those are all good things to have. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, some of the nighttime sky pictures that he took, he was bummed because he came and visited us a couple 2 months ago, and it was right before the supermoon was supposed to be popping up here in Nevada, and it was like gonna happen the day after he left, and he was a little bummed. He was like, oh man. I was like, yeah. And it was big. It was like a big crazy whatever. Actually, I think a week later it was even bigger one, but anyways, yeah, it was cool. It's good stuff. I hope he does good with it. I hope he continues. I know he's a little apprehensive about putting all of this stuff together, making sure everything works. He's doing his journalism. I can't remember if he's finished his journalism major. I think he finished the journalism major. And he just started college, and again, a new semester to finish his minor, I think. Shoot, Dreamer just told me what it was, and I'm totally spacing on it at the moment. Poops. But yeah. Don't let social be the thief of joy. Yeah, that's the crazy part, is we've talked about that a little bit, and do fun shit, do cool shit. Don't let number go up, fuck around with you, or number go down, fuck with you. It's all meh. It's a thing. If you find your people and your and people that enjoy your stuff, then that's great. That's wonderful. Like, build around that. Do the things that you enjoy. Show off your passion in those ways, and people will gravitate towards it. They'll pick up on it and be like, oh, this is really cool. I like the way you like this stuff and stuff. So my biggest advice to younger artists, yeah, I still get down sometimes when I look at social. I know I do solid work, but it's a real issue with creatives. It really is. I do a pretty good job of keeping myself away from not worrying about those things. Like, I could sit here and worry about viewers in this channel and stuff like that, but at the same time, I've also been very fortunate to have like Sonny, who comes by every day while he's at work and watches, and he subs to the channel, and he gave out subs to people that were here and things like that. So Like I'm appreciative of even just the one fan that's been doing all of that stuff. And like when you drop by and stuff, or when people have time and come by. Ghost Guy had dropped by a couple times and just said hi. It's just like those things are cool. Like I don't give a shit. Like it would be nice to have more people come by and stuff like that. But this is cool too at the same time, because I'm still getting to do the cool shit that I like to do, and this part of it, the social part of it, is extra, right? Like that's a bonus that goes on top of everything. So I still get down sometimes when I look at social. I know I do oh, that's the one. He gave me one when my sub ran out. Yeah, he did. He's a good dude. Like I appreciate him. And he's come to me a couple times for advice and stuff like that, and I've been able to help him out. And I think there was one time that he was pretty down that was able to help him get him worked out of it and stuff like that. And we appreciate each other in that way. He's a good friend. He really is. One day I might go surprise him at work. That would be so funny. Okay, if you do that at some point, like make sure and film going in there, like get some video of it and be like, hi, I'm Inverness Shadow, and just be like, he'll be like, what, who are you? And then I'm in DPS. That will throw him for a fucking loop. That would be so fun. I need to figure out the restaurant. You and Alex need to give me the details. Okay, I will. Yeah, I have his home address. I don't have his. I'll figure it out. I'll ask him for it. We'll see where it's at. But yeah, that would be so funny. We were able to. We played with Mums on Tuesday. She hopped into Destiny, and it sounds like she's going to be moving over closer to, or she's going to be moving in with Renegade, with her daughter and stuff like that. So she's actually going to be closer. So Alex is talking about being like, oh, cool. If you guys are all together, then if I do like a trip down to California or Nevada, I can just like hit a bunch of you all in the same like little row on his way through. So that was kind of fun. Hey, thank you, Dreamer. Thank you for putting in your points. I'm assuming you're lurking in the shadows. For all the times we've played together and talked, I still don't know what restaurant is his fam's. I don't either. He sends me pictures of food and stuff there all the time, and I'm just like, you bitch, you son of a. It looks good. If I'm ever up in the PNW, Alex and I will be meeting you. Yes, do it. Do it. I think that's one of the things that I wish I had. Maybe it's not had. Maybe I wish I was a little bit more braver to do, is to roam around the country a little bit more. Ooh, if I make team next year, I'll be in Vegas. Interesting. Vegas is a trip for me, though. It would only be a 30-minute flight, though, which is the funny part. That's the crazy part about this country, is like, you can sit there, it's 6 hours if I drive. Oh, excuse me, 7 hours. It's so big. It's just like, oh, you're in Nevada. I'm just Vegas, Reno. It's like, yeah, that's 7 hours. That's a little bit of a different. I think it's a 45 minute flight, though. So Fearless Leader meetup. Heck, that's like people coming to Texas and not understanding how it really is. Like, and I think that's the funny part when people from other countries talk about that. Be like, oh yeah, I just go across to, all across Europe and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, yeah, the amount of time it takes you to get across the entirety of Europe is what it would take me to go from Reno to Vegas. Yeah, like New York is bigger than France. Yeah, it's wild. That's the crazy part about the States, is that they are just all their own countries. That's how big they are. No, it's one of those things that even back in the day when Remy and the group got together and they all met up, and like I think Sage was there, even though I know they did division stuff where they met up and stuff like that with Tinks and everybody. It just sounded really cool. It sounded real fun. Even when you guys did your little mini meetup and stuff, that was fun. That sounded really fun. I am bound by frugalness. I am not necessarily a cheapskate in the ways, but I typically don't spend money on myself for I probably should, but like, and it would be cool, but I don't know, brain don't let me. Oh man, the OGs. Oh, I met Chicken and Cryptic. Yeah, that one. That's the one I was thinking of. That one sounded like you guys had a good time. We did. Of course you did. I also get nervous because I don't know if I would be boring or not, because I'm not very good at social stuff. And like if people were like, let's go get a drink or let's go get coffee, the two things that I'm just like, I'm sorry, not my thing. I would feel like I would be shooting myself in the foot with a lot of those things. I know I'm going to get hate mail for that. I know. But it's one of those things. Then I think I would be a downer to some of those things too. So, well, no hate. I'm just an old man. I'm just making up stupid, silly. Anyways. No, but like I think it would be one of me and Dreamer's ideas or wants at some point is to be able to go around and do some traveling and stuff like that. I don't know when that will happen, but like it's a goal of ours at some point to be able to do. So I'll never say never. Like I think that's the thing here, is that we want to be able to go and do those things and visit people. Love to be able to go visit Thunder in Alaska and just kind of try not to freeze my butt off kind of thing. Just go see the cool mountain ranges and just the glaciers and everything else. Like that would be really cool to go do. So I'd love to go visit all y'all. Someday. We will get there someday. So I'll ask you this. So your job takes you to all over the place for your photography and stuff like that. Do the companies that hire you, do they pay for you to fly out and do all of that stuff? Or do they make you do that on your own dime? I would assume they pay you for that. It's got to be included, right? Yes, they pay for flights and hotel. Okay. But I would assume some of them are shorter. Do you fly around for like weekend stuff, or do you go for like week long only, or do you get a preference? Do you get to choose kind of stuff? I guess I don't know quite. Do you consider yourself a freelancer, or do you work for a company? I'm asking a lot of questions. Although I have had a couple assignments where I've gone a flat rate and then pay my own flight out of that. Gotcha. I am a freelancer. I thought so. So people just know of you and of your services. I'm assuming, do you have to go around like promote yourself for that too? But most pay for travel. Okay, so that's still baked into it, which is good. So you must have a reputation then that precedes you. Honestly, networking. Gotcha. Like this is all, so this is interesting stuff too, because the crossover between that and kind of the stuff that I'm working on with the books and everything, like the ideas are very similar. So it's always to hear kind of confirmation of those things and be like, okay, cool, that is how that works. Being a good human at work, team player, yeah, that does make a big difference. Well, it doesn't hurt that you're good at what you do too. You definitely have an eye and a skill far above, because they're not just throwing around picking up anybody to do this type of photography. Like this is mainstay stuff. This is big time stuff. Yeah, like you'd be surprised how having a positive attitude gets you so much further. I'm realizing that, like, the past, this is the fun part is I'm just starting my 3rd year in this self-publishing sphere, and the attitude that I adopted when I first started the first year was kind of the same of what we talked about already. Like, do cool shit, have fun, be kind about those things, be appreciative of all of those things, even if they don't make you a shit ton of money at this moment in time. Like, go make the connections, show face, show up for people, volunteer or do what you can in where you can in those spaces, and build that little community and space, and nurture those seeds, right? And see if they bloom into something bigger. But you have to be patient too and have a little bit of time. So pop quiz, what do you do when tickle fingers happens? No, lol. Look, Vishak, if I didn't think that you and Ichabus could handle you guys' tickle fingers while I'm running around trying to shut off the electric fields and stuff like that, I would stop and I would help. I know you guys got it. Y'all got it. Y'all's got it. You were fine. You guys handled yourselves fine. That meant that then I could make sure that we weren't getting straight to jail. Okay, so I will explain that. I'll throw this out there. So when I'm playing games, I'm playing Destiny. If it's low end activities like just throwing down strikes or just basic story stuff, whatever like that, like run around, do things, kill things, whatever like that. At the higher end activities, dungeons, raids and stuff like that, if there is a job that needs to be done, kind of like Alex, when he gets into a space and he's just like, I'm on ad clear, you guys do the puzzles, you do other things, I'll just make sure everything else is just dead. Like, I will pick a job like that and go and do it. So when we struggled with that map on that dungeon where the electricity would come down and it would hit us on this outside edge, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to pay attention to that, and that only because that was just wrecking us last time. So I get it, but it's bad. Like, the people watching. No, I trust y'all. I trust y'all to get yourselves out of danger. I put my faith in you. So you put your faith in me. And worked out because we ended up not getting as destroyed by those dang fields as much either. But you are right. You are not wrong that when it's called out, I do need to pay attention a little bit more on those things too. So I honestly love playing in teams like that. Everyone has a job and they do it, and we get it done. Y'all will need to carry me through the dungeon soon. It's a good one. It's fun. Yeah, the tickle fingers. It's a good one. I like that one. It's not like overly aggressively hard or anything, but I love the dungeon. I'm always willing to teach it. I'm very patient. Yeah, I think the first time I went in with Ichabus, he had already been in a couple times, and it was a little chaotic because he was just like, oh, like this, and this, and this, and I was just like, shit, I feel like I'm way behind on it, and I was way behind on part of it. And you could tell because I was shooting the wrong things at one point, being like, I don't know how to activate the shadow powers. And like, ah! Nothing will trump me running around in the first Crota raid yelling because the thrall are chasing me in the dark and I just fall off the map. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that first room. First room is crazy. It's just pure chaos. It's just chaotic as all get up is what it is. I know I was there. That's why it was funny. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I've got that saved. The other one, I was gonna fuck with this one. 100. What is it? Okay, deal. I think we all have nostalgic raid stories. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's the thing is like it, and I don't know if they've just gone overboard with how they design them or how mechanically heavy they are. But like you can have some of that chaoticness and stuff, but yeah, some of it is like, I don't know, whatever the template that they're using to build the new raids and stuff like that, definitely way different than the old ones. Almost like they needed to design it for 3 people, but just let you run it with 6. Not necessarily so you can carry people, but just make it a little bit easier on that. I don't know. Yeah, we could run Crota with 3 towards the end. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the weird kicker about that is there are people that run those raids solo, and duos and stuff like that now, even the new ones, and it's like, okay, so I get it that it is doable, but there's a ridiculous amount of optimization that when it I hate that word when it comes to playing a game like this and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to look cool with my character and stuff like that, but I want to be versatile. And if I, like, when we got into that period where it's like, well, if you don't have Galahorn, you got to get the fuck out. Like, or you have to have one specific weapon or one, whatever to make all of this encounters work. It's just like, man, that kind of sucks. The new raid is too much for me. Watches Dado's how-to video and I was so confused. Same thing. Like, I watched part of the world's first race and I was just like it's cool looking, but I'm like, I feel like we're going down a pathway with some of those that are just too much. Like, I like semi simplicity of the dungeon in some aspects much better. I haven't run a new raid since Root. I think that's the last one I ran to. I can run the chicken encounter. That's it. I hated loadout requirements and cheesing. Yeah. It feels like that's still very much the same, where the way some of the encounters are built and set up, like you can't use whatever. Like, you really do have to be specific about what you do and don't use, which kind of is like, meh. Hated cheesing. Yeah. But it was funny watching Atheon fall off the map. Yeah, those moments are just funny in and of themselves, being like, oh, we can do this. Oh, okay. Because there's times now where a boss or something will get booped off of a map and you're just like, haha, and then it just teleports back up to the top and you're like, well, that's just not as fun. That's not as cool. We cheesed Templar before and I don't remember how. I don't remember how to cheese a Templar. I know there was a cheese though. I think they took the cheese and made it into a... No, that was a feature from the beginning. If you stand on the plate, it prevents the Templar from moving. I don't remember what the cheese was. You could push the Templar off too. That was a thing. I remember that one. That's always been a card of the... Yeah. No, you could... There was a grenade trick that you would... if you threw him at the Templar's feet, it would like slightly move him, like out of the way, push him, and then you could just push it all the way until it fell off the map and it would kill it. But yeah, I don't remember. I feel like there was that one was, I think, was a minor one. I think there was a bigger one that would like lock it somewhere or do something to it. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. No, I think I've actually had a lot of fun running the dungeons and stuff like that with 3 people. Way more than trying to run the dungeon and stuff. I think they went a little too heavy-handed on the design of stuff for those. Like, you really, like, they focus too much on having to, instead of perform a job, communicate about what the fuck is all the things that are going on. And when you have 6 people trying to tell each other what they're doing and what's going on, like even watching those raid races where they're all blah 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 blah, yammering over top of each other, it's like, man, this is disorienting in a lot of ways. Like, I think they focused too much on that type of mechanic-ish thing, was relying too much on having to communicate the things. So yeah, I feel like that's the... And I know they try to... It feels like they kind of try to do part of that, where they break it up into like 2-man teams or whatever, but at the same time you should have, even if it's a 2-man team, one person being able to handle ads, control, and stuff like that while the other person performs the task. Like, but it feels very much like, even when they redid Atheon, or not Atheon, but even when they did Vault of Glass and stuff like that, like they upped the density of ads and champions and stuff like that. So then one person can't handle the chickens and the champions and stuff like that by themselves. Then you need the other person to, so now it's two people trying to clear out ads and complete the task at the same time, and it becomes a little cumbersome in a lot of ways. Has anyone soloed the new raid? Like, I probably, yeah, more than likely. The final boss of Desert is so crazy. People were having to signal with fusion rifles. Yeah, that's like, I don't know. It's going a little overboard in my opinion. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be hard, but if you're, and we ran into this with the one dungeon where he's constantly throwing down the arc, it looks like arc, but it's solar blasts all over the place, and he's making duplicates of himself. Like, that's fine, make that challenging, but then don't give him 7 million points of health at the same time. Like, if we're having to 4, 5, 6 phase this because we're just getting destroyed by blasts of lightning arc, then you've got two competing problems happening here, where the boss is too hard and the playing field is too hard to navigate. Like, make one of them the problem, but then give the other one the debuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's some weird, like, balancing. I think that's balancing issues that have to be addressed with some of that. I do find it fascinating. The guy that made the built in the Halo Forge, the Destiny-esque raid, and people, even like Azzacross, they went through and they played through it and beat it and stuff like that, where they were impressed how it worked, what it meant, how the weapons and how the puzzles and stuff were put together. Like, they were like, this is a good balance. Like, this makes sense in a way, because in a system that doesn't have a boss that you can technically, like, he had to create one and figure out the mechanics for that, but it all felt like it worked well with each other. I think there was a couple pieces that he probably like when they had to do juggling of the fusion core and stuff like that while other players were doing other things. It's like, okay, we're getting back into that territory of shoot, catch, throw, shoot, catch, throw, shoot. Like, you're juggling too many jobs at one time, kind of thing. Hey, there's Sunny. Must have been a busy morning. Look, I found an Inverness and I found a B-Shack. They've been here the whole time. I've stepped away from my outlaw ways, Vern. Oh no. Wait, outlaw or pirate? Are you stepping away from outlaw and turning into pirate? I'm now an arc raider. He. I need to go drop my backup hard drive up, so I do have to leave. If you're still on when I get back, I'll rejoin. Can lurk until. Yeah, I should be on for another hour and a half, so it depends. Yay, thank you, Fern. Thank you for lurking. I get all the goop. You do get all the goop. You're just a goopy boy. Okay, so it's what the kids call loot. Yeah, I know. So Sunny, on Wednesday when we worked on that new page stuff, I got approval from Dreamer. I got approval from my daughter that it looks good, that they like it. So we done did good things with that upgrade that we did on Wednesday. That one. They liked it. They like a Picasso. You must have been busy this morning at the restaurant. Lots of cats. Kitty mouse. As my nephew says, Mau Mau. It's a Mau Mau. A little bit. A little bit's okay. Okay, you gotta send me in Discord where your restaurant is. I want to know where the family restaurant is. You never know, I may come visit. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm just saying. Also, then I can write you a really cool review on, oh shit, whatever Google reviews are. Best place ever. Staff is amazing. That guy at the front runs a register, cute as a button. There you go. But I do charge for my reviews, so. I think I've seen like this before. I'm gonna try to sneak that in, but I gotta figure out how. I just learned more about my spirit animal in the anime I was watching. He's more than he appears. Hee hee hee. Also, send me the name of that one because I want to check. I might want to check that one out too. Okay, was I right? Is he the main character? Or is he just like a background character? Because he's probably, I think we talked about this. He's the guild leader or something like that, right? I love how I get to jump from photography to Destiny to anime in these streams. Like, I love this. All my favorite things. Art, Destiny, video gaming, and anime. I ain't mad about any of that. Ain't mad about it. Get a little close over here. Aha, thank you. There was a cute girl in the hero's party, so I tried confessing to her. Yeah. Is that one on Crunchy? That one somewhere else. Oh, look. Let's see. There was, I thought that was on Crunchy. There. Yeah, okay, there it is. Cool, got it put in my watch list now. Actually, I can check that out today. I'm gonna go hang out while my daughter is doing her climbing this afternoon. I'll get to hang out in the truck and I'll get to watch some stuff maybe. I should technically be working a little bit more this afternoon since I actually took a kind of a real day off yesterday. I should do some work while I'm in the truck this evening, but we'll see. I might have some time to play around and watch some episodes. We'll see. Weird. People usually let me play in box, but this one is all closed up. I think I want to change a bunch of this. That's at 6. Actually, no, let's just move that. Just move that over there for the moment. Scratch that. Let's do duplicate. Let's get rid of these other ones. I think these other ones are terrible. So one of the things I've learned while working on this book project is that sometimes when I have too many ideas, like I had 5 different versions of how these wording should go down, some of the actual writing for it, the word bubbles. Sometimes if I have too many options, I should just delete all of the other ones except for the main one that I'm like trying to manipulate. Not keeping those because they tend to like influence too much and come and be like, oh, I should check that, and like, no, don't do that. Get rid of that. Blah blah blah. Just clear my head of the stuff. So, my ex-fiance gets all her shit out of my house on Saturday at noon. If I don't show up for DPS 9 Saturday is because she unalived me. Baby B. I wish I knew somebody that was close that I could send over to be your bodyguard. But I will keep that in mind. That is very similar to the messages that Mrs. Tahoe sends me, be like, hey, I'm meeting this strange client for the first time. Keep an eye on my location just in case I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You know where to find the body. Yeah, make sure and tuck your phone like deep in your pocket so if anything happens that we can track you, find your body wherever it's at. I'm looking at making a new PC again? I thought you just did that. I think some of my friends are coming over. Good. In this prison pocket. Yeah, get an air tag and then swallow it so that we can make sure we can follow you wherever you're at. An Apple air tag. I know it's expensive, but safety reasons. That feels a little bit better. Let's drop that down to 3. Ooh, this would be my first one that overlaps. I don't like that. Let's see, that's 17, that's a 20. Kind of like that. It kind of gets smaller as it goes down. No, I got a new graphics card. That's right. So are you talking about getting a new case, new power supply, new motherboard, like all of that? So I'll move the new graphics card into the new build. Gotcha. My phone is too big for my prison pocket, but maybe I haven't tried hard enough. Don't. I don't know what this means. Please don't push it too far. Pocket. Oh, I get what I understand. Old man Tahoe. Sorry. Yeah, don't do that. that doesn't seem like a good idea. I want this to be like a very faint kind of thought idea. Maybe something like that. Does it get this? Makes sense. This goes like this. Yeah, I put 2 and 2 together, Sonny. I got there. It took me a minute, but I got there. I would not as a doctor, as a person who plays a doctor on TV, I would not advise putting electronic devices in your prison pocket. Yeah, I would not advise that. Yes, those are dedicated for that. So that is correct. That's why I said I would not advise. Maybe we should revise our advisory here. I would not advise putting electronic devices in your prison pocket that are not meant to be in your prison pocket. That are not developed. They're not created. Did we clear that up? Am I getting close? Am I getting farther away? I'm not quite sure yet. I don't know. Pupper's rang the bell, so I'm gonna go let her out real quick. Actually, we're gonna switch over to our little cam here so you guys can see her going out. I'll be back. No cusses. Too late. I'm back already. I look like buttons on the last page. Flip and flip. What the flip? So many flips. See, Sword, she's just out there doing her patrols. Hey, Mr. Alex, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Another tier 1. Thank you all for doing that. I appreciate it. Hopefully these streams are entertaining and fun and we get to play around. I do appreciate that. The build is going to be around 3K. Okay, that's not too... That's... Okay. Expensive, but that would make sense though. Let's see, I look like buttons on the last page. You're curious about the hole? I'm playing. Hey, I forgot to mention you should make your VTuber ghost move when other people talk for the DPS stream, if that makes sense. Yeah, that does. I actually could make that happen, I believe. Yeah, I could. I would have to instance it so that it would be, I think it would have to be 2 separate models. Maybe? Anyways, there's ways I could figure out how to make it work, so. Or make like a crowd that moves for anyone in the Discord chat. I could do that. I could do little PNG ones too. Oh, like the one show that I'm blanking on. Yeah, I can figure out something to. I'm trying to remember what the DPS. I think it shows up with your guys' names on it. So when you're talking, those activate. So I have that part set up. And then your voice comes through, so it's capturing the audio. I should be able to route that through to a different application. Yeah, I think I can do some of that. Oh, the Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, that would be funny. So I can also ask my son, because he's way more into a lot of the new tech and stuff like that, or new apps and websites and stuff like that that have access to a bunch of stuff like that. Little character models and things like that that you can build and use. So it actually is associated with whoever is on the Discord call. So each person would get their own individual like avatar, and it can make them move, or kind of like a little PNG tuber. Yeah, I'll have to look and see. I think that would be doable too, and that would be less crazy than my other idea where I was trying to. Oh, like on the New Year's Eve party? I don't know what Jerf had on there. Did he have little avatars for us? Like Kirby with the Link hat. Oh, yeah. So, those were, yeah, kind of like that. So we have a couple of different options. One that would be like that, where you can build your own, I think they're called stream avatars. You could build your own stream avatars, and they run across the bottom of the screen and do different things. And you can actually like make them do different things. It's something we could add in here too. Or we can do something a little bit like a PNG tuber. Like you could actually have a group of PNG tubers that would activate and deactivate when people in the Discord chat were talking. And each person would be assigned their own. So I have to figure out how some of that works, but. Damn Landia, that's the right. Oh, interesting. I think we have to tell him not to. There's no more videos coming on that one. Alright, doesn't have any. He's got it scheduled to continue to publish videos, but we don't have any videos going there anymore, so that's not a thing. Yeah, those are called stream avatars, is what that was. Let me see if I can find the channel, because I think he published. Okay, he has not published the new video yet. He has last year's video, but not this year's video. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's one of those things. I need to sit down with him, and we really need to, like, I'm hoping for maybe some type of break from school, a week or two, or maybe even over the summer, that I can, like, get him cornered and help me put together a bunch of cool stuff. We can just work on building cool shit for this channel, maybe the DPS channel. He's able to join DPS in how many days do we have? Very soon. In 8 days? 8, 9, 10. In 7 days? No. Yeah, in 8 days. He'll be able to join DPS in 8 days. So then he can give me all the advice he wants on things that I should change. But I was debating what I could do with my old PC if I do pull the trigger soon. And I was like, oh wait, I could use it to stream. Yes, dedicated streaming PC. Good idea. Yes. Just make sure everything else is cleared out and it's just got that on. Okay, so before we get too far down the road here, I messed up on this last time a little bit. We are going to go to a break here in about 30 some odd seconds. So we're gonna pause what I'm working on at the moment, even though I've been chatting most of the time. We're gonna do those 3 minutes, then we'll come back and we'll keep working on stuff, answering questions, talking about all kinds of different things. But yeah, let's see, I'll put it on, see if our assistant, nope, our assistant is not in his spot, so we'll leave it on the outside for now, see if Sora's out there. But yeah, stick around, we'll be back after these brief messages.
Sunny_Ruth says big stretch.
See, I gave it shit last time because it was super fast when it did those ads. Now it's being really, really slow. See, as soon as I say something. Sent my shenanigans from last night. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check those out. I'm gonna do those stretches. Now. Thank you, Sunny, for redeeming that. Oh, my neck. Oh. Okay, has anybody else ever done stretches and popped their sternum? It's that little cartilage right in the middle, between your left and right rib cage where they meet, right dead center. I've had a thing where I've been able to pop that for a long time, off and on. I haven't been able to do it as much lately, but that one always freaks people out when you're like, oh man, I gotta pop my chest, and they're like, what? And you do it and they're like, oh my god, oh, that's weird. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay. I don't have bones anymore, but that's fine. It is super satisfying. It's almost very like a relief in a lot of ways. It's a weird pressure to have that bubble right there. I don't know if it's air or what it is, but it's very, very, very satisfying. Kind of like those times when you pop your neck and you're like, it could either be a good pop and you're going to feel relief, or it's going to be the bad one and you're going to be like, uh-oh, I popped it, but I strained the muscle at the same time. So now I'm fucked. Don't want those two things. Oh, these old bones. This is a weird January day. January 23rd. Not a lick of snow out there. So weird. And I know, you may be thinking, Tahoe, you live in a desert. Yes, but I live in a high desert. This is Abby normal, for sure. If you know the movie I'm referencing, good to you. Oh, okay. Question is, do I like this adjustment here? Does this work? Was there a lot of Mary Jane since it's a high desert? A better version of Frankenstein. That the new one? Oh, than the new one. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Some would argue that it's probably the best version of Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein is. God, if Dreamer was here, she'd be quoting it already. Oh, wait, she might be here. She might be in the chat somewhere, depending. She's a working girl, though, so she's probably busy. I would agree with that argument. No, I don't mind like updating classics, especially if you have a new interesting way of telling it or anything like that, but it's got to be, I don't know. I don't know, some of that stuff is kind of weird. We just watched the second half of Wicked that came out last year. And when that original book came out, because it was originally a book, Dreamer read it and loved it. And it was a really cool precursor to the original story. And we were fortunate enough to go to to San Francisco when the play was traveling around, and they did a production of it. And like the play was fucking stunning. The stuff that they did in it, just unreal. Like, it felt like the stuff that they ended up doing in the movie was very, very much based on a lot of the imagery and the puppetry and stuff like that they used from the play, which is really, really cool. So like I can see some stories being updated and being told in a different way and working really, really well. I think the first half of that movie worked out really well. It had that same feel and vibe. I think the second half of the movie, which we just watched, was definitely fell off. Like they tried to do too many different things to add little pieces to it. And like they even admitted they added some more songs and stuff. And it just felt like it didn't have the same emotional feeling and pull to it. It got Hollywooded too much in that time frame. So I always go back and forth between like classic movies and things that I grew up with, and if they do a reboot or whatever like that, I don't know. Reboots feel like a cash grab. Retelling a story in a different way that's better or interesting, like the Dune movies, those fascinate me because I think those went closer to what the book originally had. But some people would argue that the original Dune movies were better, but I don't know. Bryce, this is all your realm. This is all pop culture stuff. I don't know how to wrap my head around all of that. I love Guillermo del Toro, but his version was just okay. I am not entirely sure why I dislike so many films that came out this year that are getting huge praise. I'm usually the opposite. Like, I loved most of the best picture nominees in 2024 and 2025, but this year, I don't know. Well, really, it's just two movies I couldn't get on board with. One, Battle After Another, and Frankenstein. The former being the most overhyped garbage I've seen this year. I would like to see a Ready Player One that is more to the book. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't think we went and saw one single movie in the theater last year. I don't know if it has to do with just everything that's going on or penny pinching on our side of things because, fucking groceries and stuff got expensive as all shit, and we're just like, well, we're just waiting until, like, we didn't go see, like, we probably should have went and saw Wicked in the theaters, but we saw the first half. I think we saw the first half in the theater. But this one we waited to see the second half and just waited and rented it at home. So I don't feel like I don't know. Movies and stuff right now are weird. I agree, Sunny. I would love that very much. Yeah, I would like to see Ready Player One that is more, yeah. I liked the Ready Player One movie that they made. Like, it was fun. I love how they pulled all of the characters through. Like, the best representation of a Gundam that I've ever seen in a 3D rendered setting was that freaking movie. Just slightly the movie that they put out on Netflix very closely rivaled that. But I still think Ready Player One has the best version of that, the way that looks and feels in my head. But yeah, I think the thing about like book adaptations and stuff like that, they're hard. Like, I was happy with the original Ready Player One, but if the way everybody talks about the book is even better, then you're right. There's probably way more that they could throw in there and improve on and do. And maybe it doesn't need to be a movie. Maybe it needs to be kind of like Loki was, a series where you basically make a movie, but it's shot in or broken up into pieces like that over, so then you can have like a 5-6 hour movie, but just broken up into episodes or whatever like that. So I think there's some understanding about how really long form and short form content, I hate that word, really looks like and works like. So we'll have to see. I missed the Demon Slayer movie. Yeah, I did miss that one, but that one I could probably watch at some point online. Like, I'm okay with what we got, but if it was closer to the book, I think they could have done a trilogy. Yeah, that's the thing. What if each Easter egg? Yes, exactly. I think that's part of the problem that I had with even the Wicked 2-part movie. After watching the first one, it did leave me wanting to see the second one, which is cool, but when it comes out like 2 years later, you kind of really lose the momentum of what you've got going on. I think some of the stuff that they did with, like I was saying, the Loki TV series and a couple of the other ones where you're telling this long form story format in these episodes, like, but you can drop them every week, then you don't lose that connection piece to it. The Wicked thing was way too far. Like, I got way too disconnected for it. Like, I just didn't care anymore. Like, I knew what the story was going to be. I knew that there had to be a conclusion to it, and I wanted to see it, but I just was like, meh, I'm okay. But I think if they, depending on what the story is, like the Ready Player One, I think for sure could definitely be a series where you make 45-minute episodes, 50-minute episodes, maybe even a little bit more, maybe even like an hour 10, hour 20 maybe. I don't want to go crazy here. And make like 6 or 6, 8, maybe 10 episodes, something like that, and really like give the story the breadth that it needs. I always look at Dreamer's favorite TV show / movie, which is Pride and Prejudice, which was a mini series that they made in Europe, and they broke it up into episodes, but it was like a 6-hour or 12-hour movie essentially, that they had to break it up into, and it really gives you the space to feel the story, breathe into the story, and hold on to the story, and then conclude the story, which is really, really nice. And I think there's a lot of media stuff that either they just continue to write it in a way where they can stretch it out forever, which doesn't feel good. Like, I don't want that stuff to last forever. I want to be able to move on from things. Like, I love Destiny as a video game. I want it to end at some point. I don't want it to go on forever. I want them to come up with new, crazy, cool, different, exciting ideas and games to build and stuff like that. So that would be the thing. Even with this book series that I'm working on, I was talking to Dreamer about this, I think it was last night. Like, I have an idea of how many books I want to write. I have an idea of the story. I have all of the stories plotted up until the end of that. I have a reason for how many I'm going to do, and a lot of things set up for that, and plotted out. And when I'm done with that, I can do, if I want to do a different series with like adjacent characters, I can do something like that, but I also don't feel like I would want to. Like, I want to tell this block as it is, and then that be done. If I want to tell other stories, like I already have an idea for a different type of book series that has to do with in my head. I have the two characters' names already for it, but I already have ideas for other series that I want to put together and build and do and explore. And this series is very much about the experiences that I've had with my pets and my family, and the stories and stuff that I've built around that. The next series, if I'm going to put it together, which will be different, those may be more fantastical stories, things that I create just out of not necessarily thin air, but just a different way to approach how to create and build a world and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's my favorite word. Dreamer throws it at me all the time, being like, your favorite word is I don't know. But I love that, they're going to make more man, I can't remember the name of that series now. I love that they're going to be making more One Piece episodes. That's great for them. I don't know what other crazy stories they're going to be able to tell. Like, at some point, are you just repeating the same thing over and over again? I got burnt out on like the original Naruto. I got burnt out on the original Bleach and stuff like that, because even Dragon Ball, just the same thing over and over again. It's like, if there's never any end to it, if these characters never grow and develop and change and actually, like, yeah, you can power them up as much as you want, but it doesn't, I don't know, it's just weird. I was appreciative of like the Boruto idea, where now we get to see the life changes of this character, and that may be the longest format of what that looks like. But I expect if they continue a series like Naruto and Boruto and stuff like that, at some point they're not going to have Naruto anymore. He's going to be like old fucking man or dead or something like that. Like, that's what I would expect to happen, which would be good, because then that's a new generation of characters and things, and they can go on from that. So I don't know. Storytelling is interesting. It's weird. It's something that I'm like trying to understand and figure out, especially as I'm trying to build my own stories and interacting with other people, creating their stories through like my literary communities and stuff like that. So you're going to get a dachshund, so can't be added to the roster of pets. No. Well, we haven't gotten across the Grand Line yet. How dare you? Dragon Ball is allowed to be as long as it wants. It is a staple of Japan economy, funny enough. Yeah, several of those are for sure. Dragon Ball, Gundam is on the lower end of that tier, but it was definitely one that was propped up as keeping, like, Bandai is ridiculous on keeping Japan afloat. It's just insane in that way. No, but like, the storytelling is interesting. I look at like Disney and what they do with Mickey Mouse, and Mickey Mouse never ages. He stays the same. All of those characters stay the same forever. Now they add new characters to their catalog, whether it be like when they did Frozen, or any of the newer ones. Like, I'll even go back to when my kids were young, Cars. Like, they add new characters and stuff to their repertoire of stuff, but that one staple of Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, like, they are exactly the same. They never change. They never get to grow up. They're perpetually always stuck in that universe exactly the same forever. And it kind of weirdly, it doesn't freak me out, but at the same time, when I say it out loud, it's kind of like, oh fuck, they're essentially they're prisoners in this thing, whatever universe that is that they're stuck in. And I think sometimes when we take stories like One Piece or anything like that, and we continue to drag a character through the mud every single time, like if you never get any type of resolution for the characters ever, like that also feels like it's taking away from it as well, in my opinion. And it's weird. Like, there are some animes that I've watched that I've been super excited for the last episode. I think Violet Evergarden, beautiful series, very beautiful story. Came out with a movie to wrap up the entire thing. It's like a beautiful piece all wrapped up in that space. Which is, I forgot where I was going with that, but not every story gets that. Like, there are other animes and stuff that I've watched where they get to the end and they don't get picked up for a second season. I'm like, oh, I would really love to see more of what happens. Like, this character, these stories didn't get a proper end. I think some of the stuff that happened even with like Firefly, when that was a huge thing, they didn't get a proper end. So when they got to do that movie and put the final piece together for that was a beautiful way to end that series and be like, okay, we're not going to be able to get to make this, but we can at least tie up the stories and make that, give it the ending that it deserves in that way. So I think some spaces deserve that and need that, and some maybe not. I'm not sure. It is a staple. Okay, did that one. But Bulma wishes wrinkles off of herself. She appears young, and Saiyans have a long lifespan. Yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. I don't know. It's interesting. Storytelling as a thing is weird, and it's interesting. There are no rules to it. You can do whatever you want, which is good. But there are some things that resonate with people and some things that don't. And I think that's just the inherent nature of storytelling. I'm glad that that's the thing, is if you can do a story like One Piece and do, what was it, 1,200 episodes or whatever, and write all those books and put all that stuff, and you have stories to tell and things to put together for that, like, that's amazing. Like, yes, fucking tell all of those stories. And it may just be corporate thing that eventually they're just putting stuff together. Maybe that's the crux to it, but using Shenron for vanity. Take 5 years off my face. Cheaper than Botox, yeah, right? I don't know. We've gotten into the talking about storytelling, which is, I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm passionate about it. I am definitely like, it's one of those things that fascinates me, because as a person who studied language and got a communications degree, and I took creative writing. I've done a bunch of things. Now I'm publishing kids' books and stuff like that. It's an interesting space to be in and look at all of the versions of it. And Yeah, what you can do with it. You can write a story or a poem or something as small as 2 sentences and make the most impactful thing ever seen to humanity. Or you can spend 50 years of your life writing 600 volumes of a manga and not feel like you've done enough yet at the same time. Storytelling is wild. Probably one of the few mystical, magical things we still have left, I would say. Like truly mystical, magical things. I went off a deep end. All right, I'm back. Hello. What should I do with this page? God, it feels so irrelevant now. I'll have to maybe I'll ask if I get the opportunity. You know what? That might be one of the things that we may have to do here on this channel, is we may have to bring in some other authors. Maybe like I was talking about before, maybe I'll ask Rachel to come in here and we can just talk about storytelling and what that all means. Maybe we need to have some other people in here to talk about some of those things and really like bounce ideas off of, and maybe we'll argue with them a little bit. Maybe that'll be fun too. Because I think that would be interesting, is to, I don't consider myself as much of a, I still don't consider myself an author. I will always go, like I've said before, illustrator, artist, author last kind of thing. It would be interesting to get more perspective on the whole thing. That would make for some great content. You can bring on some artists as well. Yeah, well, so at the beginning of the stream, Inverness was in here, and Inverness is a oh, by the way, Bryce, since you are here, I did point, oh God, I forget what her, Jessica Tobias, I believe, is her handle on Instagram. So if you get a follow from her, that's Inverness here. That's one of my friends from Dungeon Protocols. J Tobias Photo. She followed you on Instagram, I believe. Fellow photographer, we were talking about all of her adventures that she took over the weekend or over the week, working in Miami and stuff like that, doing a bunch of really cool photography stuff. And I was talking to her about you and throwing your name in the hat, and she's like, oh, give me his details, because keeping connected across the spheres is a good thing to have. So like getting to talk to her about those things, asking her questions on stream, and then her being able to respond through the chat and stuff like that. So like we got like a mini version of kind of that conversation or that idea, where we didn't actually get to hear her voice, but we did get to talk about those things, which is really cool. And how freelancing and the business parts of her stuff works, and connecting with other photographers and reputation and stuff like that, and the sphere that how to get into the part of that and things like that. So that was kind of cool. But like I said, I did toss her name out to you, or I tossed your name out to her. So if you guys ever want to get connected for any reason, or like have questions, I asked her and she said, yeah, just you can always send them her way too about any of that stuff. So, oh yeah, she's the sports photographer you showed me when it came to visit. I followed her a while ago. Would love to connect. Yeah, so you guys should be able to. She said she followed you. Hopefully she picked up the right one. So yeah, you guys can connect that way too, because she's really cool. She's really fun. She's really nice too. She lives in Texas. Okay, I've got. Oh, thank you, Sunny, for sending me that that image too. Ooh, you sent me a bunch of videos from gaming too. Oh, cool. I'll have to look at those in a little bit. That's exciting. Yeah, I would love to do more photography. This week has been crazy and I've had to drop a class because time and money are about to become a big issue over the next 2 months. Yeah, well, if you need anything, let me know. We can talk to Dreamer and see what's going on. But like, she was totally fascinated when I told her you do some astrophotography. She was like, "Oh, what? Really? Tell me more." I was like, "Okay, cool." I got her hooked on the line with the astrophotography stuff. So she was jazzed about that. So that was cool. All right, so let me save this real quick so I don't. Things have been relatively smooth today so far. I'm gonna knock on wood for that because you never know if that's gonna continue to be the case. I think I need to change part of how this sounds, but I'm not 100% sure what to put for it yet. People usually let me play in boxes, but this one is all. I like that I connected that. I can't remember where. That's not gonna work. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I should check it out first. Something along those lines. The way that works. Yeah, then we go into our actions for our repeat pages here. So that'll change. That didn't change any of that. So I'll add a few more words to our. Yeah, I think we do need that little extra. don't mind the way that looks. This is page 11. I'm going to replace that. Okie dokie. I just want to thank everybody for being here and coming in and chatting. We've been very busy. Lots of conversation going on. Thank you, everybody. Just throwing that out there real quick. Okay. Relink this one. We want number 11. There we go. Ed. It's already embedded. What a strange box my people put on the floor. It doesn't look like my normal ones. Weird, my people usually let me play in box, but this one is all closed up. I feel like I've seen one like this before, but I can't remember where. Maybe I should check it out first. Yeah. I think I want to make this smaller though. Not that small. 20, 14, okay. Something feels off about these. Okay, better. Sometimes it's like little micro adjustments. I'm trying. Work is turning into a hellhole today. No, you're good, Alex. Thank you. Thank you for coming by. I know you guys all redeemed your points for our assistant patch here, so I'm gonna swap over. He's hanging out over by the heater vent. It's a little suspicious. He does use those as a network tunnel to get from room to room, so. But I think it's fine. He's fine. Everything's fine. He appreciates all the points you're dedicating towards him. For sure. Let's relink that again, because we did change a couple things. 11. Place. Okay, there we go. There we go. Much better. Wording. Few more adjustments. The problem with trying to make micro adjustments on these things. You gotta go back and I can see that this one was pushed a little too far to the right hand side, so it needed to be changed. There we go. Good. Yeah, much better. Weird, my people. So I'm gonna look at this. What is strange about my people on the floor? It doesn't look like my normal ones. I do have the same. May have to change the wording. I just realized. We mentioned the people twice. Doesn't look like my normal ones. Weird, my people usually let me play in boxes, but this one's all closed up. I feel like I've seen one like this before, but I can't remember where. Yeah, maybe I should check it out first. That was a good addition. That leads into our looking around the box kind of stuff. What a strange box might be put on the floor. I mentioned the people twice. Do I have him talking about his people anywhere else? Oh, he does. The people had a special... Okay. I don't want to invoke them too much. Okay, I think I need to make a change to number 10 then. Poop. Okay. All part of the process. Doesn't look like... We're gonna have to do some creative rewrites here. Okay, so we can get rid of that one. Question is, do we... let's see. Okay, so this will help eliminate saying the people too many times. Which is what I want. So I gotta figure out how I want to punctuate this one, or how I want to connect these two together. If we put the exclamation at the end, it's "what a strange box." It goes up at the end like, whoa. If we make it a question mark, it's "what a strange box." No. Do a comma. What a strange box. Doesn't look like any of the ones I usually play in. I feel like some of the wording is off. It's unlike, that's too advanced. I think we're close, but there's still something with the language here that's not connecting for some reason. I'm not 100% quite sure. Voice in my head. What a strange box. Doesn't look like any of the ones I usually play. With a better sentence for the second sentence. That connects to what we've got going on here better. So sometimes when, even though so this is what the colored version of my layout looks like, right? This is how I write it. I usually do it like manually on a piece of paper. I write these all out and maybe do like little doodles depending on what actions and stuff I want to do. But like until you get the illustrations down and together, so once you get to this stage, oops, what did I do with that? Once I get to, what was that? Oh yeah. Once you get to this stage where you actually get to see the illustrations along with the dialogue, sometimes it changes how the feeling of the words is. Like I can write it all out like I showed you with all of the little word bubbles and structure out the dialogue. But sometimes the imagery takes over part of what the dialogue should say, and you have to kind of rework the two. Or in this case of page number 8, like we did, the imagery was not as strong, so we redid the imagery but left the wording as is because that was fine. So it kind of depends on the situation and what you want to do and the feeling of it. Like I feel like a lot of this is about vibes and making sure that for me, it's making sure the voice that I have inside of my head that I'm reading this through and hearing the characters say it out loud, that it all jives together, right? So I'm happy with the imagery that we've got here, but there's just something slightly off about the way this wording worked. So, and having them both, being able to see the two pages together also makes a difference. I think is where audio cut out. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Huh, that's weird. I didn't do anything or touch anything that would have broken it. What I was saying is designing everything on one page like this, like I can be like, oh, this sounds really good. But then as soon as you put it next to each other and then being like, oh, read this and then read this, I'm like, oh, I said the people twice here. I forget that you have to design the pages and then look at them together in their spreads to make sure that they also still work together across each other. I don't know what happened with my Twitch. I don't see any spikes or weird things on my side, so I might have gone out. I might have tapped the desk and it might have gone out. It's a possibility. I'm not gonna not say it wasn't me. So, but I can say it wasn't me. It was you. It was all you. It's all your fault. You did this. You did this to me. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at now, is like adding this words to our page here to make sure that even our rollover into the next spread has more meaning and connection point to it. And then, like I said, looking at these two and being like, oh no, that doesn't work, so we need to change that. And sometimes the simplest two sentences can be the hardest ones. What a strange box. What a strange box. I feel like there's a better way to say this. It doesn't look like any of the ones I usually play in. But it's unlike any of the ones I usually play in, which is... ugh. I guess I have to determine whether or not the simplistic language that I want to use is good to continue. It is a kid's book. We don't want to push too hard on it. But it's not a board book, so it's not like I'm teaching language in some way. So I could technically get away with it a little bit. I'm basing this off of my experience growing up as a kid. I think I needed the simplistic language when I was building these blocks early on so that I could... I needed it so that I could have built a better system for myself when it came to reading. It's unlike any of the ones like, it's not a bad sentence. It doesn't look like any of the ones I usually play in. Doesn't look like any of the ones I usually play in. Why is this tripping me up? Why does this sound weird? I might have to sit on this one for a minute. Or maybe ask for more assistance from Dreamer when I see her next. So I'm gonna have to flag that one as needing more work. I think that one's okay now. Number 11's okay. And number 10 needs something now. got that updated. Let's go ahead and let's not export that out yet, but we will save this because that's important to save. Okay. All right, peoples, we are coming up on our last ad break before the end of our stream here. So let's swap over to our live cam, see what our assistant is standing up, just taking the heat. Sweet. Silly little guy. But yeah, we will pause what we're working on here for the moment. When we come back, we will do a little wrap up of the episode here. Might swap over to Canva and do a progress update, even though I guess technically we went backwards and then we regained a little bit. I don't think I have any pages to confirm are 100% completed yet. We're getting close though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do a progress report this week or not. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, stick around. We'll do our wrap up after we get back, and then we will go from there. If there are still viewers in here watching, and we can shuffle them over to a different person to raid, then we will do that. If not, then we'll roll up for the day and be done. So, but yeah, stick around. Make sure Patch is doing what he's supposed to be doing, and we'll be back here shortly. Okay. I have returned. Slightly worse for wear. Bad thing about living in a desert, it's dry here, and you can get bloody noses fairly easy. It happens. But you know what? That's what's nice about those little break times, is if that happens, then I can go and handle and deal with that. So that's a good thing. That is very nice about that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will be back next week for more episodes here, working on book stuff, trying to get these pages unlurk. You don't have to unlurk, you're good. Yeah, I'll be back next week to keep working on getting this book finished up, last little adjustments, all that stuff. We are getting to the point where I'm hopefully going to get then I think the next phase, once we get these minor adjustments done, is buying our ISBN and then getting our barcode for the back of the book, and then starting to move towards uploading or getting files prepped and ready to be sent over to Ingram Spark, so we can get a copy printed out and sent as a preview, so I can make sure everything looks good and feels good and does all of that stuff. Ooh, yeah, at Bryce. Ooh, ha ha ha. Very nice. I love you. I love you too. You two are connecting. That's great. That's perfect. But yeah, that's the plan, is looking forward to those things. I've got, I also have to send in for my Library of Congress control number. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to be able to do on stream. I think I can do the Library of Congress one. That one should be okay. The ISBN one, I do have to purchase that, so I can show maybe some of it, but y'all don't get to see my credit card number. That's not the way this is going to work. I've got a dedication to put on there, which I do have written. What else do I need to do? Oh, the barcode needs to go on the back, so I need to purchase that. That goes with the ISBN. Those are a package deal. So that's good. Yeah, those are the things that we've got coming up that I need to work on. We also, coming up on February, is when Ingram Spark is doing their big changes towards pricing. So they are going to have a price increase, which is going to cause my books that I'm currently making 34 cents per copy sold, that will make them 2 cents per copy sold. So their cost of printing and everything has gone up, so they're passing that on. So but in the meantime, what they're doing is they're allowing us to do free changes to our uploads for our books. So if I want to change the price of the books, I can do that without incurring a fee or a cost. They're going to make that free to be able to do coming up in February. So we've got those things to play with and mess with, which also means new barcodes that I have to purchase to make that changeover and stuff like that. A bunch of things to update and make sure everything's running perfectly across the board, kind of thing. So that is on the docket. I have to bring up, probably next time on Monday when we go through, I do have a Google Doc. No, it's a Google Sheet that I put together that has a timeline kind of breakdown of all the things like I need to do, and I can show you kind of what I set up for myself in my first year and used in my second year. Then you can see kind of the cross off list that I make for myself as I move down through the process and hit each one of those milestones as we get towards our final publishing release day and all of that fun jazz. So just kind of show you guys some more of that stuff, hopefully on the way soon here. Other than that, we do have another episode of 500 Little Things coming out on Sunday. I do have to say the last one that we did last Sunday, I actually thought was actually really, really good. I think we're starting to kind of figure out what the format is. I think, or at least how the talking part of it works between me and Dreamer. So if that's interests you at all, to come and see us talk to each other, about each other, with each other, about life and all of the little things in between, drop by and say hi, listen to us yammer about things from the past, things for the future, and like I said, everything else in between. So that's on Sunday late at night. That's 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in a different time zone, that's going to be a little bit later for you. But yeah, that's what we've got going on. It's 500 Little Things podcast. It is broadcast right here on this channel. Different graphics, different stuff like that. But yeah, same place for all of that stuff. So other than that, I think that's it. For now. Thank you all for coming in and playing and talking, and thank you Sunny, thank you Vern, thank you Bryce, thank you Alex, thank you B-Shack, thank you Dreamer for dropping off your points and stuff like that. Who else was in here? There was a lot. I appreciate that everybody came in. Fridays I guess are a good day to do these streams. Yeah, I think so. I enjoy them. I enjoy being here and doing this and getting to play around and talk with everybody and stuff like that. And hopefully it's interesting to kind of see some of the mind stuff that happens behind the scenes with what I've got going on. And hopefully we will slowly work our way up to having some guests, or oh, that's right, I need to message somebody on Threads and talk to them and see if I can use some of their material on the stream here too. So but yeah, more stuff coming, more interesting stuff. We've got events coming up too for books as well. So yeah, all the things. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday. And have a good weekend. Maybe go do something fun, or maybe just chill. One of those two. I think Dreamer and I are due for like a Saturday or Sunday where we just sleep in. Seems like we've been doing a lot of like run around things. I took the dog to go get her shots on Tuesday. I also got to go take Dreamer's car in to get service next week. So like there's a lot of little stuff. So we're hoping to get a little R&R time, little sleep in maybe this weekend, hopefully. But yeah, hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Mm-hmm.